Hey everyone, welcome to the monthly tarot lottery. And if you're a newcomer, let me just explain to you what this is real quick. It's a monthly lottery where I draw one name from this bowl, and that person whose name gets picked will receive a tarot reading. And the way to enter this lottery is on my Patreon page by pledging $2, $4, or $9. If you're interested, you can check out the details in the description. And another thing that I wanted to mention before we get into it is that if you are participating or would like to participate, you can always send me your palm, a picture of your palm, a photo or a scanned image if you're interested in getting a palmistry tarot reading. So we haven't gotten to it yet because I haven't picked a name so far, a person who decided to send me an image. A few people did, but they didn't get picked just yet. Maybe this time we'll see. So, just going to see who we're having, and it's Sarah. Congratulations, Sarah. I'm going to check if you have sent me a palm picture, and if not, I'm just going to give you a reading using the spirit cloth. Congratulations, Sarah, and welcome to your reading. Just to make sure that there's no confusion, this reading is for Sarah with an H at the end of her name. I think I have 3 different Sarahs supporting me. Thank you to all of you, but this particular reading is for Sarah with an H. So we're going to be doing the issue at hand reading using the spirit cloth. And let me just read this to you just so we know what this reading is about. It is possible to avoid the issue at hand for a lifetime. Events, relationships, and everyday details come and go, concealing the center. This spread is a lifting of the veil. If there is an elephant in the room, you will find it in card 1. It is up to you to determine how cards 2 to 4 relate and contribute to the issue at hand. Only you can discern if they represent a helping or hindering force. You will recognize the truth when you see it in the cards. Do not second guess. Go with your instinct. The first card is the issue. You cannot go over it, around it, or past it. Do not deny what you see. You must open your hand and accept it. And 2 to 4 represent surrounding forces, 3 additional dynamics that play a role in how the story will unfold. So, let's get into it. So this reading is pretty much about truths and problems that we're trying to perhaps avoid or block, things that persist even if we try to perhaps suppress them. And this reading is kind of like a release of that problem. And I'm going to pull an additional card to make sure that we find a practical solution, some sort of spiritual but pragmatic advice that will guide you through this situation and out of it. So let me spread the cards. Okay. And so let's try and find the first card. The elephant in the room, the issue at hand. And 3 additional cards to explain the circumstances. We can kind of look at it as a story, kind of like a past, present, future unfolding of the issue. 2, 3. And one last card that I pick for you in addition to see if we can find a way out together. Okay. So this last card is kind of like the focus that you can have in this situation in order to make the best of it. So I'm just going to put it here, right here. All right. So the first card is the King of Cups. 10 of Wands, 4 of Swords, and the Tower. Okay. And we have the Magician as the release card. Okay. So let's start from the beginning. The King of Cups is the center of the problem. So what I'm getting from this card is 2 things at the same time. It can represent a literal person in your life, since court cards often refer to people. But it can also represent the necessity to control your emotions, as cups represent water, the element of water, and the king, which is, by the way, the knight in this particular deck, but it occupies the same rank, it has the same role as the king in traditional tarot. So the king is the highest rank, the highest level of expertise in this field. So this card can refer to a paternal figure, a father figure, a person of authority in your life, someone who is perhaps disciplined to the point where their emotions are not being expressed clearly. And since this is an issue, so usually the King of Cups would be someone who's really mature and really in control of their emotions, able to, make sensible and sensitive decisions and remain empathetic. But there's also a dark side to the King of Cups, where they go into denial about their emotions, or they become controlled by their emotions instead of being in control of them. So this could be a person who just kind of has this theme in their life, this battle with their emotions, a struggle where they're trying to figure out, and they are to an extent solidified in their character. So it's probably an older person, and they are set in their ways to an extent, and they are trying their best to remain on top of situations where there's an element of emotion. So this person, if it refers to a person, is being challenged emotionally, and they are trying to give their best to deal with the situations that are being thrown at them. This could also refer to you. So this could be you, but I'm getting the sense that it's a person outside of you. And the whole story, which is being told here by the 3 cards, seems to be a pretty challenging one. And I'm getting the sense, I'm getting the intuitive message that this situation, you are involved in it, and this other person is involved in it as well. And your patience is being put to the test with this particular life lesson or challenge. So let's see the other 3 cards. We have the 10 of Wands, which represent stress, conflict, a situation that is more than you can handle energetically. So it's just something that you have been carrying for a while that is just really burdensome. It's a true burden, but you haven't been able to drop it for a while. So it's really testing you. I'm getting the sense that there's a true challenge going on, and it all comes down to emotions and different moods, ups and downs, and being in control of our emotions. And through interacting with this person, through being involved in this situation with this person, you're learning about this theme, about the theme of not being overpowered by our emotions. But wands, they represent, they are fire. So there's an energetic component to this story as well. Something is draining your energies. It has been for a while, and it's just too much to handle physically and energetically. So that's something to be aware of. And since we have the Four of Swords in the middle, it's indicating to me that you're about to drop this responsibility or these responsibilities. It can also refer to multiple tasks and multiple duties and responsibilities going on at the same time. It very likely is, because it's just too intense, too much to handle. And the Four of Swords, this card being associated with the element of air, is a lot less dynamic, a lot less intense, and it's about taking a break. So I'm getting the sense that you have been planning on dropping a few of your responsibilities regarding this person, perhaps, or regarding a situation where this person is also playing a role. So you've been planning on doing that for a while, and the tarot is reinforcing the necessity to do that. So there's just a change of energy here in the middle, a seizing of certain activities and dropping certain things. On the other hand, with the Tower coming up in the third card, the Tower is a really, really intense card, very radical. It signals some brutal, profound changes that are coming your way. Things that you cannot really anticipate, things that you cannot avoid, and you shouldn't be trying to avoid. So this is about acceptance in many ways. Now I'm getting the sense that the King of Cups is also a symbol of letting go and easing into a situation, because the shadow side of the King of Cups, although he is a great character, but he does have his faults. The shadow side of him is that he's trying to be in control, in charge at all times, like all kings. They are interested in maintaining their power and just being on top of things. And the Tower is kind of like a hurricane. It's kind of like a force of nature that just wipes out old systems in your life, old structures, and it's kind of ruthless because it's impersonal in a way, because it's going directly against the ego. So anything that you're holding on to and is considered to be unnecessary, unuseful by this force is going to be wiped out. So the Tower is a representation, a symbolic representation of the destruction of the ego. So I'm getting the sense now that this entire situation goes deeper than it might seem at the first glance. And the main theme is letting go and losing control, allowing yourself to lose control, even if that's something that you're not used to, even if there's another person involved in this, and that's what the card is referring to. even if they are not used to it, there's just no choice. The situation is escalating. That's what I'm seeing. We started with the Ten of Wands, which is a minor arcana card, and then we had another minor arcana card, the Four of Swords, representing kind of the eye of the storm, the calm before the storm. And then we have the Tower, which is, like I said, not an easy card, but it's definitely beneficial, so I don't want to scare you. It's not about destroying your life. It's not about, I don't know, making you not have your comfort zone in any way. But it's definitely kind of poking into your comfort zone, and sometimes, more often than not, in a dramatic way. So just to give you an example of what the Tower can mean, it can mean the loss of a relationship, the loss of a job, the loss of any kind of structure that you used to rely upon, that you thought would carry you, and the universe, by destroying it, by taking it away from you, is actually showing you that you are stronger than these exterior kind of structures, this scaffolding that you're putting too much faith into. And that's exactly what the last card, the Magician, is trying to communicate to you as well. The Magician is the card that represents individual will in alignment with the universe. So even though you can see where this is going, you can see where this situation is going, and that you're going to lose things, that you will be kind of forced to make sacrifices and lose some of the exterior structures of your life that you relied upon. There's a new strength arising within you, a purity. The Magician is really close to the source. The Magician is number 1 of the major arcana, so it's another major arcana card, and it's reflecting mostly on the Tower card. And so the Magician represents the rebirth of your will, the rebirth of your power. So first you must allow the universe to take whatever it wants to take from you. And even though there's this really strong tendency and inclination, either within you or outside of you, in the shape of another human being, it could be both as well, because more often than not, people around us are a reflection of who we are a reflection of energies that are happening within us. So even though there's a strong desire to take control and to always be in charge of what's happening on an emotional level, and to always keep our composure, to always be disciplined, but there's some madness coming your way with the Tower that is going to shatter this image. It's going to take that illusion away from you. You are not in control, but that's okay. And a new kind of control, a new sort of egoless control is going to arise from this situation at the end. I hope that you enjoyed this reading, Sarah. If you have any questions regarding this reading or feedback, feel free to write to me. Thank you to everybody who has watched this video and supports my channel in any way. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.